members of the press, colleagues, stakeholders, and honored guests. It is with tremendous pride and heartfelt excitement that I officially welcome the Soul Beach Music Festival back to Sint Maarten, the place where the unforgettable journey began nearly a quarter of a century ago. In 2009, the Sint Maarten Soul Beach Music Festival made its mark on our shores and introduced a vibrant, energetic celebration of soul, music, and culture. Today, almost 25 years later, we are honored to be the host with the most of its historic return for the 2025 edition, not only as a destination, but as its origin. The Soul Beach Music Festival is one of the most successful and influential platforms for African American tourism in the Caribbean. In recent years, the festival has had a major economic impact on its host destinations, attracting thousands of visitors, driving extended stays, and generating widespread media attention across the U.S. and the region. The festival transforms a long weekend into a week-long tourism boost, and we anticipate a similar, if not greater, effect right here in Sint Maarten. We're expecting a strong influx of stayover visitors for 2025 edition, each bringing economic value, social influence, and cultural exchange. What's more, this event comes right at the heels of the annual Carnival, extending our tourism calendar and amplifying visibility for Sint Maarten during what is typically considered slow season. But the return of Soul Beach is not just about the numbers. It is about the legacy. It is about reclaiming our role as host of a world-class event and reestablishing our reputation as a leader in destination entertainment. It is about celebrating our culture, welcoming global travels, and giving our local community access to perform and experience that uplift, inspire, and unify. The 2025 lineup is nothing short of spectacular for me. From the legendary Charlie Wilson to Grammy Award winning artist Mooney Long, and the comedic brilliance of Cedric P. Entertainment. Can't wait to meet him. Sint Maarten, the Soul Beach Music Festival will light up the Jocelyn Arundel Festival Village with music, laughter, and Caribbean soul. This year's hosts include Dougie Fresh, Chris Spencer, and special guest DJ Envy, promising a weekend of non-stop vibes, unforgettable memories, and star-studded moments. But we're not just stopping at entertainment. The festival will highlight fine dining experiences, wellness events, celebrating celebrity golf outings, and cultural tours, showcasing the full spectrum of what Sint Maarten has to offer. It is an opportunity to immerse visitors in our island's charm, hospitality, and creativity. To Mark Adkins and Soul Beach Music production team, thank you for trusting Sint Maarten with your vision and for returning to the roots, right? With boldness and intention. Your confidence in our island and its leadership affirms that we already know. Sint Maarten is ready. I want to also acknowledge the tireless efforts of our partners, the Sint Maarten Tourist Bureau, the Port of Sint Maarten, Princess Juliana International Airport, and many private sponsors and hoteliers who have come on board. This is a united front, a team effort, and the result will be a lasting legacy. Let us now rise to the moment, embrace the energy that's coming our way very soon, and welcome the world to Soul Beach 2025, hosted right here on Friendly Island, Sint Maarten. Thank you.
I think the minister really said it all, but we are, as Sint Maarten Tourist Bureau and the entire team, very excited about this. As a lot of people already know, Sint Maarten is known now for events. So events tourism is very important to us. It's vital to the economy. It is a measurable return on investment, and it brings, it improves the economy. It contributes to the economy. That is what I was trying to say. We're very excited. These last few days, we asked Mark and his team to actually attend also the Smart Trade Show. So he was very busy. making sure promoting to the buyers, because there was a lot of new tour operators and travel agents, knowing that this will be coming up soon, but also preparing for next year. All our PR firms are on board. We've been from the get-go that this was announced. We've been working together because we have a short period of time, but through digital marketing, social media, I believe we're getting definitely a lot of reach. And I leave the details to Mark, but creating this event in May, as the minister says, is shortening our seasonality. And that is what we're looking for. We're not only looking for the increase in arrivals, but also the increase in consumer spending, increase in our overall tourism receipts. And this is one of the forms we will definitely continue to focus on. And this will be targeted, I know it's predominantly the United States, but we will make sure that the Caribbean, it seems that it is catching on, but also for the future ones coming up, that Europe as well as Canada and other areas will visit the island in May.
Today's I guess a historic day because I've always imagined the Soul Beach Music Festival returning to St. Maarten. It's been 30 years since Sinbad initially started his show here, and it's back. I've always been asked, why don't we have something like this when I traveled to Soul Beach in the past? How come we don't have something like this in St. Maarten? We have the hotels, we have the culinary, we have the airport, we have the islands, surrounding islands. Well, it's finally here. When I was asked, what do you think about coming to St. Maarten? I was ecstatic. I think this is something that is exceptional for us. We had the St. Maarten Heineken Regatta in March. We have Carnival in April. And now next month, we're going to have the Soul Beach Music Festival here in St. Maarten. As Mei Ling mentioned, it does predominantly focus on American tourism. But in the past, for the umpteen years, I've been hosting the Soul Beach Music Festival. I've met people from England. I've met people from Brazil. I've met people from all over Europe that would come in the past to the Soul Beach Music Festival. And I'm pretty sure that's going to stay the same here in SXN. We have the airport for it. We have the harbor facilities for it. We have everything for it. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get an abundance of international travels for this. It's going to be exceptional for the island, not just the hotels, the taxi drivers, the restaurants. Everyone is going to be amazed when they see how many people actually fly in for this festival. It is the first year. The lineup is not in past. It was huge, but we're still doing a comedy night, still doing a music night, and some new additions that they'd added this year to the Soul Beach Music Festival, which I'll let the executive producer handle that. But this is a day and a dream come true that the Soul Beach Music Festival is back. Sinbad will be here 30 years, St. Maarten. So I'm excited, and you will see me and myself, and we'll see Outcast later. He'll talk. We'll be gracing the stage at the Soul Beach Music Festival.
I want to sincerely thank the government of St. Maarten, Minister Grisha Heyliger-Marten, her belief and faith in this when he first started shopping around the islands, and she started calling and saying, no, you need to come here. And we were going to island after island. And then she said, no, you need to come home. So our first visit back in August, we saw a lot of faces that we knew, and a lot of new excitement that the minister brought made this really clear that this was the only place to be. This was where we needed to be because of the roots and the history that we had here. We want to thank the St. Maarten Tourism Board, Mei Chung, who's been connecting me via WhatsApp with everybody in the world, and all the support that we've had from your department, just on making sure that we're able to meet people. I'm just amazed at how many experience, production, people that have wrangle talent, all of the resources that you have here since we've been here 30 years ago, including the production companies and what they have in stock here. But we'll get more into that. I also want to thank hotel sponsors, and this year we have many for the first years. The DV Little Bay Resort, We have JW Marriott, Sonesta, Hotel and Resorts, Simpson Bay Resort, Oyster Bay Beach Resort, the Morgan Resort, Commodore Suites, and Jennifer Vacation Villas. We really want to thank them because they have stepped up and made sure they've been partners in this event right off the bat. And of course, the Princess Juliana Airport, which is beautiful. Great job. Commend you on what you guys have done. I think what people get here, and it's I think the only place I've gone, and you go right to the customs and you take a picture of your face and you're done. I haven't seen that technology anywhere to this point, and I think our people are going to be very impressed by what they see here. We also want to thank the Port of St. Maarten, who stepped up and has become a part of the festival this year as well. Win Air, who's going to help us with our regional promotions and some of our regional trip giveaways. Hertz and Fun Miles, who's going to be offering some trades, I understand, for tickets this year. First, I also have to really commend Mr. G Money and DJ Outcast, who way before we came back here were, supportive of Soul Beach. They made sure between the broadcast of Laser 101 and Aruba over all these years and really just talking up the festival everywhere that they went. But it's the quality of entertainment that they bring to the table. I mean, they pretty much host our comedy night. They are the comedy hype 1 hour pre-event before we start the comedy. And, this is something that, started off as just a 10 minute, 15 minutes, and then became 30 minutes and became okay. So they're on, they're on as long as a headliner is. And our people really appreciate, but there's just so much that they've done. I can't even count how many ways they've helped the festival over the years. And so it seems like it's only right that we're back in your home, in your hometown, and that you've been telling us this is where we need to be. Just to kind of do an overview real quick, and I'm going to run through some of this, but we also have USBs that have the overall presentation for the press to be able to really go into detail about it. But, the Soul Beach was, established. First one, really the first festival we ever did in 1995 was the Sinbad HBO special that we shot in St. Maarten. It was my first time ever producing a festival. I had been his manager for, at that point, 12 years. And we decided to do a concert for HBO. We wanted to move it because Sinbad always likes to do things extra. He wants to shoot it in the Caribbean. And the idea was to have it feel like that 70s still, because he knew people had a different vibe back then and that the island still had it. So we shot that. It was one of the most successful music broadcasts they ever had in history. So it led to 5 years of doing it back to back in different outlets. And in 2001, we created Soul Beach, which was a spinoff that, I love doing festivals so much. I got accustomed to them. And the idea was to move from just old school to bring old school and new school together so that we could have multi-generational travelers that came down. And we got a team of people that are here with us that put on some of the best events in the world. People who work with Usher, to people that toured all the way back with Prince. They come in, that production team. I really, I take all the credit, but they make me look good, but it's really them. They've been really loyal to the family and helping us every year come off of whatever they're doing and be a part of putting this together. And together with people that we've met now on the island, I mean, it's going to be a great combination. It's going to be a 1-2 punch. The overall, the reasons that, we produce the festival each year and why we're coming here to St. Maarten is to attract to new tourists to the island. Also, a lot of them would be first-time visitors. We're going to have people who loyally come to St. Maarten all the time, but some of them, this will be their first time ever seeing St. Maarten. And I know that they're like me. They're never. It's like glue. It gets sticky. And you're going to come back and you're going to enjoy it. It's a really kind of developed as a marketing tool, where most festivals are developed where you stay in one location and that location makes all the money and they never leave from 12 until 2 in the morning. Ours, over 5 days, you're going to see people moving all around the island. They're going to get a chance to see little small boutique shops and say, oh, I want to come back here. I want to experience this. That's the idealism, to really let them experience the island. And that's one of the things that the minister was making sure that we did, is get people into different areas other than just staying in their hotel room. And we want to also focus on shared interests, from whether it's fine dining, whether the fact that you can do day trips from here, the fact that this is the jump off for, some of the best cuisine in the world. I mean, a lot of our people are foodies. So you add music, and you add foodies. I mean, I want to think this is just going to grow exponentially. There's a lot of, events, and the talent is amazing, but it's the vibe that we really try and create so that people come back every year to have that experience. And I think this year, even with everything going on, there's a need to be here, to join together. And I think that's going to be very, very much a part of why people come. Just to give you the bottom line is, I mean, as much as you vibe and as much as you enjoy things, what is the business? And in the case of Aruba, we were able to drop over $30 million into the economy in a 7-day period. When we first started in Aruba, we were probably less than half of that. They maybe more like 10 million. Over the years, our increase of revenue, the increase of size of the artists that we brought, we just saw it grow and go to the roof. So what was supposed to be a 3-year contract ended to a 22-year commitment. What that really breaks down to was a 15-to-1 return on investment. And again, like you said, it's spread out. It's not just the hotels. It's the taxis. It's the jewelry stores. We put people in a situation where they're visiting even local shops. We did over 7,000 people to Aruba in the last edition. The average stay and the average rate is like high season. The average stay was over 7 days. And when we started doing the event, it was 3 days. So it was a Friday, it's a Sunday, even though we had a 5-day festival. So it just showed people enjoy themselves. Now they can't get out on Memorial Day, on that Monday. So they rather stay 1-2 more days and have a good excuse back home for their bosses. Like, I just couldn't get out. So our ideal is to not only influence that weekend and how the economic impacts that weekend, but year round. If people come for one event, and enjoy their weekend here, you have a lot of like business planners. You have people who were wedding planners. You have people who are going to, we have the African American Lawyers Association do their conference the year after they visited Aruba for the Soul Beach. So there's a lot of opportunities to tie into year-round residual income. So it's the return on investment for that week, but also what you get and the increase that you'll get throughout the year. And I know that they're going to enjoy being here. But the main reason that we came today is to really offer something special to St. Maarten. And this is something that we want to do to make sure that we have as much involvement as, is it St. Maarteners? St. Maarteners, I like that. St. Maarteners to come to the concerts. So this year we're offering a special discount of 30% off a $70 ticket for the concert nights. We start the concerts on May 23rd, and the comedy night turned out to be one of our biggest nights. We have everybody really kind of staying away maybe from the front row, but everything else is packed. And this year we got somebody special in Cedric the Entertainer. I mean, what can you say? This is the original king of comedy. He's first time to St. Maarten. He's already so excited that he cut a video saying, I'm coming to St. Maarten, and did some fancy graphics for us without us even asking. And he's really like a Pied Piper. Other comedians see where he goes and they follow. And he's very versatile all over the world. Cedric actually right now is he's in Vegas doing a residency with Tony Braxton. So he has grown to where he is a mainstay that you can play Vegas for 2 months, 3 months, and sell it out over that time. But he's on TV right now on his own show, The Neighborhood, on CBS. So having his endorsement and having him talk about the island, and this one of the things that we talked about is really being able to tie into the value of having these entertainers, basically the endorsements for St. Maarten. So the tie-in and the association is something that you usually have to pay an influencer for. But in these years, we've been able to, as long as it's promoting Soul Beach, have them talk up the island and the destination. So you'll hear that from Charlie Wilson and from Cedric. And as I mentioned, that night is a great night. We have it hosted by Chris Spencer, who's one of the most creative and funny comedians. He's a writer for the BET Awards. He's done the Grammys. But he's also just a great, great host. And he's a welcoming person. Also opening up, because we go old school, new school, we have the feature act, Pretty Ricky, Miss Pretty Ricky. And Miss Pretty Ricky is very big on as an influencer, but people might know her from the Cat Williams tour, where she stole the show, and Cat is a big fan. She traveled for the last, 3 months with him. So that's on Friday night. That's going to be at the Festival Village, and we're going to look forward to have, as many people from St. Maarten as possible. On Saturday night is our main music night. So that's going to be hosted by Dougie Fresh, which, he keeps the party going in between the shows, but he also has his own hits. And Dougie does tours. He puts out hip hop tours that represent the old school. He's the promoter. He owns those tours, and he's known all over the world. So Dougie, being a promoter for this event and a partner in this event, and his love of this event goes all the way back to the Sinbad days, where he first got a chance to be on stage at the Sinbad Soul Festival. He said he got a chance to be on stage at the Sinbad Soul Festival and the HBO special, and then Prince gave him a call and saw him on the HBO special and said, "Hey, I want you to go on tour with me." And because of that, he has been loyal to this event ever since. But it's also just the kind of person he is. He's very humanitarian and just a very positive person, and he brings that with him for the whole show. And as our feature act, we have a very special young lady who I think is probably, if we didn't get her this year, we might not be able to afford her in the next years, and that's Money Long. Money Long, who has for long been a great writer for people like Ariana Grande. She's been Mariah Carey. She's made hits, but she decided and got pushed to come out on her own. And ever since she's launched her solo career, she's taken off. Hours and Hours, which won a Grammy last year, was one of the most played songs on R&B charts. Made for Me is I just heard somebody say yes. It's one of those songs that you get married to and you fall in love to. And she's just got this way of carrying herself. I don't know if anybody ever saw Sade live in concert, where she didn't do a whole lot of movement, but the quality and the design and the lighting, it made you feel a certain way. And she didn't dance. You're like, did Sade ever dance? I don't think she ever really, moved that much. But this is Money Long, and I'm so happy. It took a lot to get her and to convince her to come out of the studio. But so I'm really happy that we have her, and I think that's what we're trying to find each year is juggernauts that you can get that's on their way up. We did the same with her back in the day, and we got her now. She did things she was doing with Super Bowls. So keep your eye on this young lady. I hope you come out. And again, it's that old school, new school combination. But of course, when you're talking old school, there's only one man that probably goes from the 70s to today. When you talk about hit after hit, generations after generations, collaborations from back in the day with Gap Band and Burn Rubber on Me to Party Train. Now you see that he's had 13 number one hits on his own, and no one can forget his name. For one of the hits was My Name is Charlie. And Charlie Wilson is to be our icon. He represents what Soul Beach is all about, bridging the gap, of music from yesterday to today. Charlie has, been nominated also for 13 Grammys. He's a best-selling author. He's a hard get as well, but Charlie, because of his dedication, he's sort of our level set for the festival. People know that we're mean business when we bring Charlie in. And so we wanted to start St. Maarten with someone that's going to grab everybody. So like you said, Charlie goes back to the Gap Band, but, even today he's making hits. And I think people who haven't seen him live will not, they're going to respond in a whole different way, because Charlie does about 4 different costume changes. He does he has dancers. it's like he's a 20-year-old man when you get up there. I mean, Charlie's going to be fun to watch. He's going to be fun to enjoy. We always like having the younger artists get a chance to see him because they come back and they go like, I got to do some work. I got to put some work into my show. So, that's the concerts. But all around the concerts, we've got some great opportunities for people to have a great time. So you got the all-white party on Thursday night. That's going to be hosted by DJ Envy. DJ Envy is from the Breakfast Club. Anybody that knows the popular broadcast. And he's already promoted on air for us out of New York, but also it's around the world. We have DJ Trauma, who's coming in on Friday for the comedy night after party. He's from Dave Chappelle's camp and does all of like his pre-events. We've got like a very special soul beach celebration on Sunday where we have DJ Fresh Prince. DJ, what am I about to say? Jazzy Jeff. Yeah, he's the DJ. I'm the rapper. Okay, now DJ Jazzy Jeff. Very close. But DJ Jazzy Jeff is funny when he's actually on the stand. It's like you're watching a concert. People start partying and then they start watching him, and he's just his technique, but also what he represents in the history of what happened from the '90s to the breaking out to all the success that they had with the television show, and then everything that he's had with his mixtapes and his broad podcast. I really hope everyone could get out and join us at the beach for the night with DJ Jazzy Jeff. Of course, we couldn't have come back home without, adding to, some, I think we've got him about 4 or 5 days he's working. Is DJ Outkast. Because DJ Outkast, he has come in and level set all of us. Because I don't think people understand how hard it is to read an international audience and DJ to young, old, Caribbean, Latin, African American, from the rock. People are into rock. And so I've had DJs come in and say, I don't know if I can do this. And so Outkast really has been the kind of the Buddha. He's been the Yoda of like, this is how you kind of measure your audience. This is how people study him and look at, okay, this man, he doesn't worry who's in front of him. He's going to find a way to reach him.
It is such an honor and a pleasure to be sitting here to welcome the Soul Beach Music Festival back home to St. Maarten. It is such an honor for myself and G Money, who has graced the stage many times in Aruba for the Soul Beach Festival, when I literally came in as unknown to this audience before, and I literally had to prove myself not only to the Soul Beach staff, but to this Soul Beach African-American audience. And throughout all the years that I've been working with them, every year I learned something new. Every time I learned something different, how to adjust, how to read this type of crowd. And I'm very happy to be on board all of these years to be a part of it. And I've learned so much over the years, and I've utilized it in other shows in other countries as well. But it's been nothing but a outstanding lineup to be part of such outstanding talent, not only this year, but throughout the years of the people I've been able to work with, to share stages with. And anybody that knows me knows I am such a big influence of Jazzy Jeff and Envy and Frank Ski and all of these people. So to be able to work alongside them, to learn from them, to gravitate with them, and to be able to welcome them now to my home. So it is nothing but an honor and a pleasure to be a part of this, and just to be anything else of words that I encourage everybody to come out with an open mind from St. Maarten, especially that they can come and enjoy all different types of music and to just have a great time under this umbrella of the Soul Beach Music Festival. And nothing but honor to be a part of it. For that, I thank you so much.
Thank you. So quickly, the scheduled events is everything from Wednesday to Monday. It's a total of 12 events over 5 days. So we're going to be moving all around the island. Our people are going to be hosting all types of events. One thing I do want to give a shout out to, since it's not on the flyer, is Thursday night is the all-white party. You have to, it's a great event. It's one of our biggest and most well-attended events. And that's going to be at Bamboo Beach this year. You got Sip, Dip, and Drip on Sunday. That's the young people maybe call it that. Sip, Dip, and Drip is a combination of drinking, the beats, and pretty much a shop till you drop all day that we're going to do Phillipsburg,
Boardwalk.
the boardwalk.
Can't wait. Boardwalk is going to come alive.
And it's something that the minister really has, made an effort to get people into that area, shopping all day. We've got 4 or 5 partners that are going to do entertainment throughout the boardwalk.
Yeah.
We have some partners
Holland House.
from Holland House to
Sinos Arcade. That's
Serious.
from where? From making where? From Holland House to Walter Plant. To Walter.
to Water Plant.
Oh, to Walter Burns.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right.
And in between, people will have fun. There will be shopping. There'll be special discounts for everyone. We're going to release an app, and that'll have more information on the people that are participating, and also any special discounts will be discussed about there. The shared interests we talked on: fine dining, shopping, day trips, and cultural tours. You'll be able to download the Soul Beach app in 1 week. The Soul Beach app, like I said, will give our people, especially back home, a map around the island, locations of where all the hotels are, where the events are. There'll be pop-up situations, and one of the motivations to get the app is we might have a special happy hour going on where somebody's guest appearance, and we'll do the pop-up only on the app. So only those first 70 people will be able to get in, or 100 people. And it's just a fun and it's an easy way to disseminate information. Just to give you an overview of how we kind of promoted, so people that know that they're hearing it here just now, but since December, we've been promoting this in the U.S. And the results have been, that we've had hotels like Simpson Bay telling us that they're 95%. And we have Sonesta telling us that there's only major suites left. And we have DV who's telling us they're sold out of one hotel. The Oceans is only that has a few rooms. Holland House that's sold out. So what we're seeing is the results are in, and we're pushing even harder. A lot of people are using Airbnbs, and the rental cars are already starting to tick up. But we started this in December with a blast to our 45,000 member Soul Beach, Club Soul Beach. This is our email list. And these are people who have come at some point to one of the events over the 10 years. So we know these are known travelers, a very targeted blast. We've done PR and print with a press release back in December. We still use both radio and digital media. And the radio, like I said, we have people like B103 and Frank's Key. We're working closely with Hot 105, and they're doing everything from digital side to print, to radio commercials. And I'm really trying to work the Miami market, given the amount of time that's left. In New York as well, WBLS, HUR, which is the Howard University station. But we do have digital media going in places that are main hubs, like Charlotte. So the digital side, we work with an advertising agency that just focuses on digital. And their main focus is on the PMAX, Performance Max at Google, where they really target people who have been to these type of festivals over the years. So it's not just a shatter, taking and doing a gun shatter to everything. We've tried to focus on people that are more likely to spend, more likely to travel, and more likely to love St. Maarten.